Maybe.
Yeah, Bishop Johnson is coming into the meeting now.
Good evening, Kurt. How you doing? Okay, it's about 4:32, and we were trying to allow enough time for everybody who was still logging in to get into the meeting. And I assume we will still have people logging in as we get started. We've got a pretty full agenda, so we want to go ahead and get started on time. Let me say to us, try to have your devices muted until you are recognized to speak, because that provides distortion that's going on within the meeting. Let me say good evening to everybody and welcome to the September 17th public meeting of the mayor and city council. And I can see that we are all still breathing, and we can all see with what's going on in the pandemic. Not everybody can say that today. Is Bishop Johnson on the Zoom?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All right, we're going to be blessed with the invitation from Bishop Jamie Johnson, who is the bishop and the minister of James Temple Miracle Impact at this time. So let's dive in and hear him.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Blessings to each and every one of you. I pray that your lives are continued enriched during these very turbulent times and moments. So let us pray. Most eternal God, our Father, we come before you on today, thanking you and praising you for all that you have done. Thanking you and praise you, God, for all that you have provided for us. We say, great is your faithfulness towards us, oh God. We thank you, God, for this board and for this council that will meet on tonight to handle the business of the city of Fort Valley. We pray, God, that you will continue to guide, lead, and protect them as they continue to lead in these turbulent times. We pray, God, for illumination to take place into their hearts, into their minds, that they will continue to lead in this period. We ask, God, that every department head, that you will continue to bless them, continue to keep them, allow your hand of protection to be upon our lives. Thank you, God, for shielding us from all issues and problems that Hurricane Sally could have made and the impacts that we could have experienced. We ask, Lord, that you will continue to shield and protect us even during the midst of this pandemic, that your hand of protection will continue to be upon our lives, and that we may forever be changed. And we give you all the glory, honor, and praise that is due unto you. And it is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Bishop Johnson. Before we move any further, I need a motion to approve the agenda. And for the board members, you saw this agenda on Tuesday night, minus a couple of things that have been added a little bit later on. I'll entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second motion.
Okay. Motion by Councilwoman Bryant and second by Mr. Crafter. that we approve the agenda?
It was Gowan. It was Gowan. It was Gowan.
It was Gowan. Okay, thank you. I can't see the face there. And
It was Bryant.
it was Brian. I
Both
said
of I heard. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
second was by Mr. Crafter, though, right? Okay, okay. All right. Are there any questions? Any discussions? If not, I call for the vote. All in favor of approving the agenda? Because I can't see you all, please state your name and say yay or nay. All in favor, Williams, yay.
Allen, yes. Crafty, yes.
Brown, yes.
Okay, Brian,
Bryant, yes.
still got 2. 3, where are you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on. That's a quorum. We missed Brown and Jimmy Barnes as well as Carla Gowan.
That was a yes for Brown, Mayor.
Okay, yes for Brown. Anybody else? All right.
Councilman Carla Gowan is logging on now.
Okay, so it's not a nay, she's just trying to get on. All right, and the motion carries. That's it. That's a little bit more than a quorum. So the motion carries. Thank you so much. We are, these devices are playing games with us, and we're having some issues trying to get those done. So you realize that. We hope everybody can defeat that. Before I get into the approval of the minutes, I want to skip well, let's do that. I need a motion to approve the minutes of all the meetings from the last month. Now, y'all had these sent to you before Tuesday night, so nothing has been added to the meetings, the committee meetings and the work session and the regular meeting too from the last time. What do I hear in regards of it?
So moved.
Second, Mayor, could you talk a little louder? I can't hear you.
Okay, I don't know what's happening. This is my desktop. Maybe I should get my laptop from now on, but I will talk a little bit louder. Thank you, sir. Motion by Bryant and seconded by Allen that we approve the minutes. I call for the motion. I call for the vote. Is all in favor of it? Let it be known by stating your name and saying yay. Williams, yay.
Allen, yes.
Brown, yes.
Bryant,
Crafty,
yes.
yes.
Crafter, yes.
Crafty, yes.
All right.
Bryant, yes.
Unmute yourself, Carla. I see your face. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Gowan, yes.
All right. So
I got a new computer. I haven't learned how to use it yet.
okay, thank you so much. All right, that's a little bit more than a quorum. I assume Mr. Barnes is still trying to get logged on. All right, and the motion, no opposers, and the motion carries. Thank you so much. I got a couple of announcements. Can y'all hear me well now, Mr. Allen? Can y'all
No,
hear
ma'am.
me well? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, but barely.
Barely hear me. Everybody else barely?
Mayor Williams, you don't come to my office.
From the office? Okay,
Councilman Allen, can you hear me good on my computer?
I will.
Can I do what?
Can you hear me
No,
good
I'm
on
on
my?
my cell phone. I can't get you on my
Oh,
computer.
cracky.
In a minute, I'm gonna walk around to the city administrator's office with volume.
Chief Spurgeon, do you hear me?
Where's my picture up there instead of me live?
Chief Spurgeon, do you hear me good?
No, you can't do it like that. You gotta.
Chief Spurgeon, do you hear me clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll let the mayor sit here.
He has
Hey.
more power than the mayor, so.
Raphael, there's a very bad echo. I don't know if everybody is hearing that
Okay,
echo.
I don't know whether my desktop is, the audio is going out on me or what the situation is, but we'll have it fixed before the next time. Thank you so
I can hear you
much.
better now.
Couple of quick announcements. There seems to have been a little bit of confusion about the ad that came out in the paper about the the millage rate, what we were dealing with the millage rate. And of course, a correction came out on that. I think it happened again last year too. People said 21% and all of that kind of stuff increase in taxes, and that's not what it says. We will be adopting the millage rate that will not require an increase in property taxes. It's not. I think when it's not a rollback, then you call it an increase. But we will not be increasing taxes at this time. We have a public hearing on September the 23rd at 9 o'clock, and then we have the second public hearing that same day at 2 p.m. for public input, and then we will adopt that third public hearing we will adopt, which is on the 24th at 6 p.m. And that's allowing different times for people who may work, who want to give some input and these kinds of things. So those are the dates, and it's on our city website. So you may be looking at that. We're not doing anything with the millage rate tonight, except to make that announcement. We do anticipate 15 mills if it's voted on and adopted. That's what we anticipate at this time. Okay, and the other announcement that I wanted to do, our attorney has given us a memorandum of law about the confusion with the House Bill 685. It was unclear whether the city council had the authority to appoint replacements on the commissions, and it was brought up that 685 replaced our charter, and it did not. Our city attorney has reached out to GMA, which is the Georgia Municipal Association, and their attorney and all of those, and the charter is the one that takes precedent over that, and 685 did not change that charter. So we will be swearing those two replacements in at the end of this meeting today. The next announcement that I would like to make, a couple of announcements, and I left this in my office when I came down to Raphael's, the numbers on the coronavirus, the COVID-19. I think I had that on my desk. So I think, Raphael, are you there? You get it from me. It's right there on that little, it's right there on that little stand where by my phone. Okay. And this is as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. The 635 that have tested positive, 100 hospitalizations, and 20 deaths in Peach County. And in our task force meeting this morning, we were shared with that's really not so bad. It's not the best, but it's not so bad. Numbers are still going up, but they're not going up as they were earlier. Also in that task force meeting this morning, County Commissioner Martin Mosley and all of us still agree that there is not a need for us to try to enforce a mask wearing mandate for our community, because it will be impossible to enforce. We just can continue to set the examples. We continue to do the PSAs and reach out to our citizens, and our citizens are doing a great job at trying to mitigate this spread. The only thing that has happened, and it's happened maybe since Labor Day, is the block parties, and of course our public safety department is taking care of that, and the house parties that the students are having, and we are taking care of that. I did a PSA twice with that. One I did today to talk to students about that and the need for them thinking about not only about themselves and what they enjoy being in school, but think about, we call it mama and grandmama and them back at home, to keep this thing from spreading to them and throughout our community. And you can't walk across Fort Valley State University campus and don't see somebody with a mask on. So they are doing an excellent job of that. All right, and then the next announcement that I want to make, I hear you, I'm getting back to you. I'm gonna get back to you. Let me finish my announcement, Mr. Kraft. Hold on one second. Last Friday night, even though it rained and we had several delays we could not pull out that win on north side. But our Trojans say they're going to get Griffin tomorrow night. So the game is going on. They're exercising the social distancing that they should be, wearing the mask and the CDC protocol. I hope eventually we'll get back to being able to do face-to-face meetings. But as you can see, the number of people that's on this Zoom today would have been more than we could accommodate and stay 6 feet apart. So we're going to have to stick with that for a little while. All right, Mr. Crafton, you had something to add to the announcements.
No, I have no problem with Mr. Moses and what the county is going to do. But I think that people are independent enough to what they're going to do what they want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the city needs to show how important this thing is by at least doing something with that mask ordinance. The mayor of Atlanta, over the governor's objection, was successful in passing an ordinance in Atlanta. And even though it might not be enforced, or we might not, in other words, if you're in your car, if it's a one-time thing, you might let people aside. But if police go to a situation like they had in the park, a legal document, a legal position that they can use for that purpose can be used without any reflection. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand, unless you're in a position to hire about 100 more, 200 more police officers in the city of Fort Valley and pay them, you cannot enforce that mask mandate. You cannot enforce it. And we have said that before. It has nothing to do with doing what Mr. Mosley says. It has to do with us all over Peach County stating that we are on one accord about that. Byron and Peach County and the city of Fort Valley. What we can do now, you stay in your house, but when I go out and I set example, I have my mask on. And when I see somebody without a mask, I give them one. And so those are the kinds of things that we can do and continue to do the PSAs and and compliment our people when they do wear them. I think that'll do more than forcing, and that's just my opinion. Okay, all right. Any other?
I understand that, man, but I'm sure this. If you have a multi-people, more than 50 people, either at a party, a block party, or in the festival park or wherever, then if we specifically design whatever our response to that, whatever action is on that, to cover that, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You won't have to have no more than what you got. Because see, if the officer goes to the park, like 100 people out there, and like, man, we can use that to say, hey, you're violating the mask law. You know what I'm saying? Or if they had that in place when they had the block party, hey, if you don't disperse because you ain't got no mask, you might be able to, you might want to get a ticket to the cost people on and it would assist the officers, the 1 or 2 officers you got, in helping to control those kind of crowds and run the folk away. So, hey, I don't know too many folks who are going to stay the party will call me $300. And we're there too.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Mr. Crafton. By the way, either your volume is down.
Can't hear you.
In October, if our numbers are continuing to go down, then we do have, and I'm sure that there's going to be some guidelines that will deal with that. You cannot control community block parties or house parties. You can't control that without public safety department coming and shut them down. They didn't have a permit to do what they did, and our public safety department shut them down. That's all we're asking that happens. All right, Ms. Gowan, I see your hand.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. We do not need to have our police officers go into a crowd of people who are not wearing masks. It puts them at danger.
Okay,
It puts our men and women at danger.
all right. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to respond on that before we move
Yes.
on?
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay.
The restaurants open in Fort Valley?
Restaurants are back open and they are sitting down. They are allowing you to sit down to eat. They are off. They are observing social distancing. I think most of them now are open for you to sit back down, but some of them have so you don't have to go in. And the ones in Warner Robins are doing the same. I went into Ruby Tuesdays the other day, and they're doing the same. They even got their salad bar back. So I think I've been into that that wing place down there. I've been in that. I've been into Olive Garden. I've been into Face to Face. All those places and all those businesses are opening back up or dine in, but they are taking extra precaution like they should take. I do want to say this. This is not.
Okay, the reason why I asked that question was I got a phone call about using the festival park for some kind of rally or whatever. It's going to be a social gathering. And that is enough space over there for social distancing for 300 people, if not more. So my question is, if you can open up a restaurant, why are we closing down the parks?
The person that you should refer them to request to use the park is Lomenzo Reddick. He's the one that's booking that. We're not having any outside events for the rest of September, but we will start opening up some things in October. And those and that October part, when you start saying things to people, he can tell them what the guidelines are, because folk want to have these events. Do the alcohol, a special events permit has to be given from the chief and all of that. And if that's not done, it will not be approved. But Lomenzo Reddick is the one that books that. And we have some already on the book for the month of October. Any other questions
Okay.
about that?
It still didn't answer my question. So the festival park is open.
The festival park will be open as of October 1st. Weekend in October. If the numbers don't shoot back up, like we've been observing the numbers. If they don't shoot back up, if they shoot back up, we have told all of those that we have committed or booked the festival park for, they may get a notice that we cannot do this. So we've got to do what's best for the safety of our people. Any other questions about that?
The question was asked to me, and I'm gonna say to the council what was said to me.
I
And
appreciate you doing that.
we're still, I haven't finished. We're still allowing food giveaway over there, so it's not completely closed.
No.
I don't know what they want to do, but it's a day event. It's not a night thing, and it shouldn't be 100 people over there. And it's
Well, there's a
enough
form.
room.
There's a form that has to be filled out and a deposit that has to be paid.
Understand that, but that can happen in that festival park. It's not an event, I don't think. They just want, it's like a public meeting.
Okay, any other comments about that? We move on. All right. Next on the agenda, and I've already done that notice just about, but it's the recognition of the employees of the month. And we always say that's where we can't really do them the justice that we really want to do them, but to be recognized is very important. And what we did in the last employee of the year banquet, then we went back and picked up everybody, and hopefully we could do that. From Public Works is Marcus Smith. Is Marcus on the Zoom? From Public Safety is Diane Brown. Is Diane on the Zoom? what we need to do is find a way, short of being able to meet face to face, in order to recognize those people like we need to recognize them, and not having the kind of devices that we can do sometimes at home. Then they can't get to this. They could come and sit in the council chambers if we wanted them to, and then see it from there. But anyway, those are the 2 employees of the month. They will receive a check for $25 and a plaque. Marcus Smith from Public Works and Diane Brown. Now, we have already told you about the dates for the next hearings, the updated notice of the millage rate hearing, and we have given you that. And it's also on our city website. All right, number 2 on the new business is the ordinance for a broadband ready community. Now, we told you about this on Tuesday night, and Councilman Brown, Councilman
Barnes.
Yeah, Councilman Barnes, his device wasn't working well. I want to give him an opportunity to explain that, because we sent him to the training, and he's the one that we told it would be our point of contact for the broadband. All right, Mr. Barnes.
Okay, very simply, and when Mr. Yoder from the county commissioners brought it to me, basically what this is saying, and Byron has signed it, and we say, and I kind of made a jest of it, said, well, broadband ready? I said, yeah, we're all ready. But what that really means is we've got together a list of individuals, contacts, we're all on the same page, and by the county and both cities in this county, pulling all together, it's showing unity for the other companies that want to get into business to help serve broadband in the rural areas, or to help get loans for the existing providers. Because I promise you, it is, when you hardline it in the county, just like we've tried, it's a very, very expensive proposition. But I'm gonna tell you this, as you keep up with the science, within a year to a year and a half, you'll be able to put up a satellite dish and get a unbelievable upload and download speed, which will rival that of anything that people can put out there. So it's working together as a whole, but this ordinance, just, we all stand together. It's giving somebody the right to move in and make it better, approve loans, just like I said. So it's nothing special. It's just a unity thing, showing that we're all in favor.
Hey, thank you so much. I want to share with us that the county has adopted theirs, and Byron has adopted theirs. You had in your packet a draft ordinance or a resolution for an ordinance for a broadband ready community. What do I hear in regards of that? It has all the specifics as who the point of contact is.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hear you.
Can you hear me, Mayor Williams? All right, I move that we accept the ordinance.
Need a second. I need a second.
Jimmy, go ahead. Give you the honor.
That's fine. I'll second it. Thank you, man.
All right. Motion by Crafter and seconded by Barnes that we adopt the broadband ordinance. Any discussion? If not, I call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by stating your preference and saying who you are. William says yay.
Allen, yes.
Crafty, yes.
Gowan, yes.
Bryant, yes.
Barnes, yes.
One more. Is he still there?
Brown, yes.
Is that yay?
He said
Brian?
yes, Mayor.
Okay, so it's unanimous. All right, and the motion carries. Thank you so much. Next on the agenda, and I need to strike this
Mayor
one.
Williams. Mayor Williams.
Yes, sir.
I've been here something to say for two items. Is there any way, you're real fast.
Now I can't hear you. You're breaking up about every word, Mr. Crafton.
Is there any way, can you hear me? Is there any way that you can give a minute, a pause after each agenda item. Is anything else before you move to the next line, please?
Yeah, I was gonna, I meant to strike this before we approve the agenda. We got number 5 down there, the Peach Regional Chamber request.
We can't hear you.
Committee, and they've been dealing with the budget on that. So let's strike that from the agenda, please, and let it go where it's supposed to go. The next thing, I jumped down too low, but the resolution to accept bids on surplus properties. The bids on the surplus properties, 502 Walden Street, 524 Walden Street, 526 Walden Street, 320 Person Street, and there's a parcel on Friendship Circle, and then 111 Kathleen Street. The persons
wait.
that...
Wait.
Yes, sir.
Wait.
Yes, sir.
If I'm in order, I move that we accept the bids on all those properties. They have been advertised. We've seen that. It's in the packet, and that all one bid are notified. That's the motion.
All right. I need a second.
I second, Mayor.
All right. Motion by Crafter and second by Mr. Allen that we accept the bids of all the properties and that the person that won the bid be notified. All in favor, let it be known by the aye, and I start with me. William says aye.
Allen, aye.
Barnes, aye.
Gowan, aye.
Come on, come on. We got 3 more people.
Brown, aye. Yes.
Okay, Brown says aye. That's 5. We need 2 more. Mr. Pastor, you make the motion. Are you voting?
Shalon?
Yeah, yeah.
He said
Okay.
yes, Mayor Williams.
All right. Ms. Bryant?
Bryant, yes.
Okay, yes. All right, and it's unanimous. Thank you so much for your cooperation and your participation. All right, next on the agenda deals with something that I'm gonna let Raphael address. This is something we had talked about before. It was a request from Bluebird. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping something. Incentive pay for, let me go back. Number 4, the incentive pay for advanced certification. Now, there was no amount put there or anything. I think this is the first beginning as to whether you want to regard the approval of incentive pay, and then you can set as what you want that to be, or you can wait until the next meeting and set what you want that to be when we finish the budget situation.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this until we get amounts.
Okay? I need a second.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, without the second, that motion dies for lack of a second. Right, Mr. Crafton?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
My motion is to remand this to the Public Safety Committee and let them do all the work they associated with that as it relates to coming up with the amount and all the other rules and regulations associated therewith, and bring that to the next meeting. That's my motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All right. Okay, Marshall, motion by Crafton
Question, Mayor Williams.
that we, huh?
Question. So I'm just curious, why are we sending it back to the Public Safety Committee? I'm sure we're gonna have other departments that need to probably bring this, before the council. So I think it either need to go to finance or personnel if I'm in order.
That was the motion for tabling it until we get everything ironed out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No.
Can you amend that?
Matt Williams?
Yes.
That is no established protocol, Mr. Brown. So if what you're saying is needed, then that should be a part of the protocol. In other words, in all matters where any other department is needed, and matters like that, then it should come from the police committee or the public service committee, and then go to the finance committee to see if the funds are available. And then if there's another committee, go to that one, and then bring it back to the council. So that, you know, those things can be taken care of as you evolve a procedure and doing what you're doing.
I agree. Thank you for that. Any other discussion on that? If not, I'm going to call for the vote.
Mayor Williams, I have further question. I have a question. So if this is for incentive pay for all employees, correct, Raphael?
No.
This
No.
No.
What it is for advanced.
Talk louder. Talk louder. You must be in my office.
Yes.
Yeah, see. Talk louder. Now he sees what the problem is in there. Come on out. He's coming around to his office.
Yes,
He's going around to the courtroom.
this is for advanced degrees, right? When officers and firefighters get additional training, what we normally do is whether they get training on firearms training or other type of training, you know, somebody can give them one step. And so what we're trying to do was avoid bringing that request to the council every time someone gets an advanced degree, and make it just where the city administrator can approve those.
But again, is that for just public safety, or is that for the administration department? Is that for public works? Is that for
That'll be citywide.
Citywide. Okay, that's what I was just making sure. I thought so.
Like we had somebody working at the cemetery, and he or she went and got their CDLs.
Right.
There you go.
So otherwise, it would be a promotion that can be approved by the city administrator versus bringing it to the council every time.
Right.
Okay.
So
All questions answered. All questions answered.
Okay, this need to be restated then, because it says for incentive for officers. So it
Okay, we
should
can't-
be rephrased.
We can't restate a motion that has already been seconded, Ms. Bryant. Now, he can amend that motion if he wants to, or he can withdraw that.
It has not been motioned yet.
Yes, it has. It was motioned and seconded. It was motioned by Crafter and seconded by Barnes.
I'd like to amend it to
No,
include.
the person that made the motion has to amend it.
No, Mayor Williams.
That's
Yes,
not
sir.
true.
Mayor Williams.
Mm.
Ms. Bryant. All of that, see, nothing is going to happen on this until all those things that you identify are taken care of. So whether you do that tonight or next month or the month after, it really doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, going back to the committee, and the committee, well, like I say, look at the thing.
Okay, I didn't want to dip in because y'all are talking at the same time. We got to be respectful of the one who had the floor, and let's do that. Mr. Crafter, had you finished?
No, I got cut off. When it goes back to the committee, then everybody who needs to weigh in on it, as the city administrator said, yeah, we do that already. So if somebody goes to get CDL license right now, and you need to keep that employee, he has been doing that automatically. See what I'm saying? So it really doesn't matter if you do that now or you do it on the committee level. Whatever you're talking about, Ms. Bryant, excuse me, will be accomplished before you vote on this thing. Whether it's for everybody or anybody else, and it can be stated at that time what you're talking about. Ain't no vote will be on this, so we need to go on and vote on this and move on.
Everybody to the council and everything. I think we're just talking now because his motion and his second had covered that. And when he said follow the protocol would be take it to the police committee first, and then it would go to the finance and to the personnel committee. And we know we do that. So is there any other comments or any other questions about that so we can move on? If not, I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor of tabling this.
I have a question. I have a question,
Okay?
and the question is, as it was stated before, this involves just the police department. I would like for it to include all departments, administration, fire, public works, and the public safety.
Okay? Those persons who are over those departments like to bring that before the council?
Now,
I
William,
just did.
now, William,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
the problem we have is that there is no set protocol. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that Ms. Bryan or anybody else could do is use this situation to establish that protocol. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you come back with, and I think the city administrator on the line, when he goes to the public safety committee, it will be his job to in all committee meetings, for things are pertinent. They will come up with whatever protocol-wise exists for that department, be it finance, sanitation, whatever. And then you develop a basic protocol for anything of that nature. We won't have to go through this no more. Then that's going to happen, Juanita. But it's going to happen. You got to set up the protocol first, which we don't have. And what you have identified is the protocol. So when it gets back to the committee level, let that be #1 priority, and we can move on.
All right. Can I call for the vote now? I'd like to call for the vote. My vote is William says yes. Table it until it goes to the police committee.
And other,
Okay?
Allen,
What
yes.
else? Alan says yes.
Barnes?
Did y'all go to sleep? Come on.
No, Barnes, yes.
Barnes
Yeah.
says yes.
Gowan, yes.
Allen says yes.
Crafty, yes.
Crafter says yes. We got 2 more.
Bryant, no, because it does not include
Brian
all
says
of
no.
the departments.
That's all you need to say. Brian
No,
says
I can
no.
say what I
All
want
right,
to say,
Mr. Brown.
and I said
Mr.
no.
Brown, where are we?
Mayor Williams, I abstain on this.
Yeah, abstain. Okay, 1 nay and 1 abstention, and the motion carries. All right, let's move on. Thank you.
Now, William,
Yes, sir?
would it be wise from now on when you call for the vote, you take executive authority and vote first, but if we go alphabetically in alphabetical order, I think that'll move the process along a whole lot
I'll be glad to do that. I'll be glad to do that. I'm just trying to get us to move along in the meeting instead of just hearing us talk. That's what I'm trying to do. And I do not believe in the mayor vote first. Y'all know that. I do not believe that because that's just like saying online on Solomon. But everybody can see council. Everybody in here adamantly has their own mind and their own way of thinking. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, Mr. Crafton. All right. The next is number 6. And Mr. Raphael, would you explain? Are you there?
Yes, I am. There's a piece of property, parcel number F as in Frank, 05B as in Bravo, 06.
No, sir. It's a 9-6. She left off a number. It's F05B096. I checked it this afternoon.
Okay. Because that we transfer that property to the Development Authority. There's a local business who wants to use that property and develop it and start paying taxes. Right now, the city is not getting any taxes for that property, but the city cannot give property to a entity. We have to give it to the Development Authority, and they can dispose of it.
I got a question. What's the location of that property? This is the first time I heard of this.
Development Authority.
Location of the property.
It's between that hotel.
It's right behind the Valley Inn.
Right
From
behind the
Burger
Valley
King,
Inn.
yeah, right behind the Valley Inn.
Okay, right off Commercial Heights.
Yes, sir.
Correct, yes.
I got you.
All right, I
Question.
need a motion to transfer it to the Development Authority.
Question,
I so move.
question,
I second.
question.
Okay, hold on a minute, Mr. Kraft. Motion by Gowan, second by Allen, that we transfer this property to the Development Authority. All right, is there any question or discussion?
Yeah, I had a question before the motion. But go ahead. My question, can you hear me?
Yes,
we hear
sir.
you. Yes.
I think that is the property that we considered one time for a parking, new entrance to Bluebird. Is that not right?
That's correct.
Right.
Once it leaves your hands, then you have no control over what they do with it. My concern has always been not creating a traffic jam or anything that would inhibit any of the local businesses in that area from doing business. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Understand.
And on that
Of
point,
course,
so
the chief and the city administrator
and DOT.
have done their due diligence along that line.
wait a
And
minute.
chief, okay.
As I say, one thing I'm saying is we need to make sure that that is stated. If the attorney on the line, is Ms. Patrick on the line?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Is there any way that we can have a clause in whatever transfer agreement that we have that will protect the businesses along Commercial Heights?
I'm not sure I'm understanding your question, Councilman Crafter.
In other words, can we transfer the property subject to this particular clause? In other words, nothing can be placed back there that's going to prohibit or interfere with any of the businesses along Commercial Heights, because you got the new drugstore there, because the building is not being used, but you got the little the wing shack there. You got the pizza place or the tomato place, and what was that? Subway, and you got the businesses at 5 Point. So in other words, is there anything we can do to protect those businesses from being subjected to trucks parked in front of their businesses during lunchtime for 30 minutes? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I get it, Councilman Crafter. We can add a clause in there that states that they cannot block traffic off Commercial Heights or any impeding roads near their exit.
I'm not saying do that. I'm saying consult with the attorney and let the attorney tell you what is the best way to handle it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
let you on this before I call.
That's what we do.
We had a motion, we had a second. Ms. Wright, you still remember who second and who motion, right? All right, all in
We
favor?
didn't get a
Let
second.
it be known by you stating your name and saying yes, and I'll go last.
We need a
Allen,
second.
yes.
Alan was
Barnes.
Alan seconded it, Saka.
Okay,
Okay, well, Allen, yes. Barnes, yes. Next is Bryant.
all
Abstain.
right.
Care
Then
what
Brown.
y'all-
Yes.
You have to give
Okay.
me time.
Do you have time now? You waiting?
Yes.
Okay, next one,
Oh, my name.
next one.
Councilman
Is that a
Brown.
no? Is that a nay, Mr. Brown?
That's a yes.
Yes. All right.
Crafter, yes.
Gowan,
Crafter,
yes.
yes, and Williams,
Gowan,
yes. So it's unanimous. Thank you so much for that. All right. The next on the agenda is number 7. This has come up before us before about the inventory exemption, inventory tax exemption, level 1 Freeport exemption at 100%. Raphael, we're gonna leave that one to you also.
Yes. In doing my research, 93% of the cities and counties has done away with the Freeport tax. That's why Georgia is one of the more faster growing business states in the U.S. We're asking that Fort Valley, the city of Fort Valley, effective 2021, go to a 100% elimination of the Freeport tax.
Okay.
Mayor Williams, I move that we remove our Freeport tax.
Okay, you broke up, Ms. Gowan. Say it again. You move.
I move that we remove our Freeport tax from Fort Valley.
Okay. I need a second.
Second.
All right. Motion by Gowan, second by Barnes, that we remove the Freeport. Now, know that this will not be for 2020. It would be for 2021.
Correct.
It will start in 2021 because we're already into our budget preparation now at this point. All right.
I got a question, Mary. Yeah, question.
Yes.
Is it a term on it, Mr. Raphael or Ms. Patrick? Can it be amended every year, or if we have a new council and we want to do something different, could it be changed?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, a new council can come back and impose it if they so desire.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other question or discussion? I call for the vote. Start with Alan.
Alan, yes.
Vote already.
Alan,
Yeah,
yes.
did you have a vote already?
No, we
Huh?
haven't.
We haven't voted. Yeah.
Didn't you just voted?
No,
Yes,
No,
you
we
did.
voted on something else.
no, we're
Alan,
just
yes.
not voting. Alan, yes.
All right.
Barnes, yes.
Barnes, yes.
Brown, yes.
Okay. Brown, yes.
Bryant, yes.
Bryant, yes.
Crafty, yes.
Crafter, yes.
Gowan, yes.
Gowan, yes. And Williams, yes. And it's unanimous. Thank you so much for that and your response. The creation of the Economic Development Department, Mr. Crafter, that's on you.
All I'm gonna say this time, is it creates a medium through which we can better communicate with all of our agencies, from the Downtown Development Authority to the Utility Commission. It places all those under one umbrella, and that umbrella is the Fort Valley Economic Development Department. Anybody who has a concern about any of those agencies that I mentioned, you're asked to, as the council develop this, to talk to Mr. Raphael Maddox or any of your council members to let them know what your concerns are, so that as you put together the framework for this department. And as I say, it is a critical department because we need to have something that we can start working together and working in unison with, because I'm tired of Fort Valley being called the worst place to live in Georgia and the poorest town in Georgia. I think working together and having an organized way to work, and this I think will create that. Will help us to dispel all of those bad roots. I was born and raised here, and even those people who have adopted Fort Valley as their home love this town as we do. With that being said, Ms. Mayor, I move that we adopt this department and proceed forward.
Need a second.
I'll second that.
All right. All right.
I have a question, Mayor,
And
two
second?
questions to Mr. Crafter.
Wait a minute, let me get Crafter and second by Barnes. All right. Is there
I
any
got two
discussion?
questions, Mayor.
All right, sir.
I do.
Yes,
The
Alan.
first question is, this department is used to replace the Economic Development Committee?
No.
I don't
See,
I don't think he said that. I don't think he
see,
said that.
in the-
He didn't say replace a DDA. He said an economic development
Economic
department.
Development Committee, we
He
already
didn't say
have
D-
one.
Yes.
I beg your partner. I beg your partner. Didn't you ask Marlon Crawford?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Can I
Wait a minute.
make this suggestion?
No,
Before we
let
vote,
me
Mr.
answer his
Crawford.
question, man.
Got to ask.
Let me answer
You
his
got
question.
to answer my questions, Mayor.
Okay. Okay.
We put together a written document that describes what the basic makeup. And the only thing we decided was that we would, because of their somewhere along the line involvement, we were going to ask that the Utility Commission appoint a member to the Economic Development Committee. Understand what I'm saying? So the committee will stay as Mr. Allen, but the commission will have a member of his body on that board so that they will know up front what's going on, and there will be no way, everybody, there will be no misunderstanding about what nobody's doing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Question number
Okay.
2.
Can I
Will this
add to that,
require
Mr. Allen?
Mayor?
Number 2.
Mr. Allen.
I got
Number
another
2.
Add
question,
something to that,
ma'am.
Mr. Crafter.
No, ma'am. Let him ask question number 2 first.
Will this require paid directors' positions?
Exactly my question.
Here again, that's something that has to be decided by the mayor and council. But now, if economic development is a vital part of changing, turning around the economy in this town, then a paid director, it is worthwhile, and the precedent has been set. Years ago, when we had Mr. Frank Flowers as our building inspector, half of his salary was paid by the Utility Commission, half his salary was paid by the City Council. Now, if we are successful in this economic development initiative that we're planning, the Utility Commission will gain more customers. The city of Fort Valley, every dime, every penny in tax that comes from any development is new tax money. So both the Utility Commission and the City Council will positively benefit for financing a position like that. But like I say, that's a decision that the mayor and council and the commission gonna have to deal with, and you can't put it all together right now. If this is step 1, step 2, 3, 4 is in the hands of the council.
Right, Mayor Williams, I just had a brief comment.
No, so did I.
Okay.
So as a part of the Economic Development Committee, with me, Mr. Crafter, and Mr. Barnes, we've worked tirelessly trying to figure out how we can move this city forward. And as you heard, Mr. Barnes seconded the motion because he understands the importance of the economic, future of Fort Valley. So it's not that we're putting all the puzzles to the picture together tonight. We're approving the Economic Development Board, so that way we, the council, can go in and plug in do we want a director? Do we want to pay a director? How many board members we want? All that'll be worked out amongst the council once we approve the Economic Development Committee tonight.
Mr. Brown, I totally understand that. I understand what Mr. Crafter was saying while he was saying it. It just takes him longer than I think it. What I was going to suggest, if y'all would indulge me to do that, I would like to take some executive authority and appoint Mr. Raphael Maddox to work with the Economic Development Board, because after tonight, you won't have a chair of that board yet until we appoint one. So I'm going to ask if Mr. Raphael Maddox can work with the Economic Development Board and come up with a process, or because saying you're going to do it is not talking about how you're going to do it. And we kind of need to know how you're going to work on it, come up with a proposal, if you would do that. That's what I was trying to say. if you would allow us to do that. But the first thing is to approve the, or to make the, to approve the motion to create the Economic Development Department. All right, and we had a motion and we had a second for that already.
Question.
Yes, ma'am?
If we're going to have a separate department,
Right.
that person, it needs to have a head. And so we need to decide first if we're going to spend money on a department head to create something
Right.
instead of paying the people we already hired.
Right.
We're not paying anybody yet.
But you haven't gotten to that discussion yet. The discussion is.
But if we make it, no, don't interrupt me, Marvin. If we create a new department, somebody has to be the head of it. And are we piling more on top of Mr. Maddox?
No.
I think this needs to be tabled until the money is figured out.
No. Can I say something, ma'am?
I agree.
Ma'am, can I say something?
Thank you.
All right, so somebody now, instead of the,
wait a minute.
we got a motion on the floor, so what are we gonna do with that?
Can I respond to that, ma'am?
We'll vote no on it.
That motion is dead.
No, it's not. We're in the question part. Can I say something, ma'am, William?
Yes, sir.
Everything that Mr. Allen and Ms. Gowan are talking about are the kinds of things that we're talking about that goes into whatever the council wants to do with this. To make that decision now, you can't make a whole lot of decisions associated with economic development because as it stands, and we're in the budget process right now, we don't have the money.
Correct.
So
I need to know what to do about this motion and second that's already been made if you finna change something.
I'm not gonna change anything. I'm not gonna change anything. All thing I want them to understand that they have not been left out of this process, and the kind of things that they're asking now are the things that the council will have to deal with along the way. So saying this is step one. All we're gonna do is approve step one tonight, and then y'all get together and then y'all talk about that and everything else. I'm through.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor.
All for the vote,
Call
man.
for the vote. All in favor of creating the Economic Development Department, let it be known by yay and stating your name, and we'll start with Mr. Allen.
Allen, no.
Okay, Allen, no. Come on, Brown and Bryant.
Barnes, yes. I meant Brown,
Barnes,
yes.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Barnes,
No,
yes.
Brown. That was Brown, man.
Brown,
I'm sorry.
Brown, yes. Okay.
Barnes was yes.
Barnes, yes. Bryant?
Bryant, no.
Bryant, no. All right.
Crafter, yes.
Crafter, yes.
Gowan, no.
Gowan, no.
It's in your hands, Mel Williams.
I say yes.
The motion carries.
So the motion carries. All right. And then we deal with all the other intricacies that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Thank you so much. And the motion carries. All right. Now,
I thank you. And I thank you too.
Okay. This is just an announcement. Number 9 is just an announcement. The Downtown Development Authority have 3 officers up for reappointment. Dr. Kendrick Matthews, Mr. Bobby Barnes, and Javier Rodriguez. I want to announce that anybody else who wants to participate or want to be a part of that organization should start submitting resumes to our city administrator as your interest or a letter of intent as your interest to participate on the Downtown Development Authority. In talking with these guys, some of them are kind of tired, but they said they would stay on as long as we needed them to stay on. If there's anybody else interested in working, they will work with them, stay on with them until we can get them trained. So I just wanted to make that announcement tonight, and we will make the announcement by posting in our normal ways of posting in the paper and other things. Okay. Next is report from departments, and I'm going to start from.
Hey, Mayor Williams. Mayor Williams.
Yes, sir.
Point of order. Can we go ahead and I was gonna say do the swearing in because I think most of
Okay.
the crowd may be waiting on that.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we'll do that.
Wait a minute.
Thank you for suggesting that. I don't have a problem with that. Miss Patrick,
Wait a
where
minute.
are you? Miss Patrick?
Wait a minute.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay. I do
Me
want to
too.
say this, though. I'd like to reverse the order of that, and we would like to do Mr. Stephen Lindsay first, followed by Mr. Crafter, if you would do that. Because Mr. Crafter wants to finish his reports as his whatever he's going to do. And so, anyway,
The reason that was, Mayor Williams,
yes, sir?
the reason for that is so that everything that was done tonight, including this, would be legally correct. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
So I think that the going and do the committee reports, Mr. Brown, I don't think anybody who has set this long won't mind. But it ain't gonna be that many. It ain't gonna be that much.
Okay.
That much longer. So
See, now you stole my thunder. You stole my thunder. A couple of weeks ago, it was discovered that with the death of Dr. Linda Johnson and the resignation of Mr. Bob Honeycutt, that left the Utility Commission with just 2 commissioners. The mayor is an ex officio commissioner. It was left with that, and they have business that has to go on and don't need to be delayed. And so as a result of that, people have been asking us why we move so fast and why we didn't give the input. We operated by the charter, number one. That's first and foremost. We operated by the charter. And then the second, with consideration of that particular organization, that unit, to be able to conduct business with that in mind, and that's what we did. And that's what I've been answering all along. And so now we are ready. Miss Patrick, where are you? Okay, now Mr. Lindsay and Mr. Crafter, by us doing this on Zoom, that is an oath of office that you will have to sign. And of course, we can't write on our computer screen, but we know that that has to be happening. We can deliver that to you.
Point of order.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
Point
sir.
of order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
The letter that I wrote made reference to doing whatever you're talking about right now at the close or at the end of the business session of this meeting.
Yes.
The business session of this meeting does not end until the committee give their reports.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So I think that for that to be proper, we initially to finish the business session of this meeting and have all the reports made. So at that point, everything will be over.
Okay, Mr. Brown, I was trying to go on and go on the advice of one other council member.
No report from personnel, man.
All right. Do we have anybody from? Let's go on to public. Right.
Public Works. This is especially for you, Mr. Jimmy Barnes. For the month, we collected $107,511. And
right.
that is for you, Mr. Bond. Public Works will hold a community cleanup. And it's 3 different days, and we will be in 3 different locations. The first location will be at to be trash up, sidewalk cleanups, debris will pick up tires, and it'll start on Molet Street to Spruce Street and the neighborhoods all in between. The second one, we're gonna try to do the Griffin Line area, and then we'll do the Vineville area. And we're asking for volunteers to help in the cleanup. We will advertise on social media, And Mr. Raphael, Mr. Chewy will put it on the digital sign as to the days and the times for each of the cleanup things. We will start at 8 o'clock and end at noon. And we're asking council members to please come out and help.
Okay, thank you so much. If I can get somebody to substitute for me, I'll be in Michigan that day. I've got to go check on my family, okay?
Go on and pay somebody. We'll accept it.
Yes, ma'am. Let's go about doing what we need to do for our city. All right, thank you. All right, the next one I would need to call on then is Ms. Crafton. Ms. Crafton, can you hear me? Well, we can come back to him last if we have to. Come on, Mr. Barnes, finance.
Okay. I can only tell you that I'm extremely proud of everybody that's been working on the budget. I'll tell you what, Diane and Mr. Reddick have done a great job. So we're going to have one more call to the council meeting to approve a couple of different aspects of the budget, depending on what we want to do with particular raises for our employees. And I've got all the charts in front of me, but I want everybody to have all the same material that I've got. We also were waiting to hear from different people that wanted to approach city council as to funding their particular organization. And the only one that was on the agenda tonight was for the, the Peach County Development Authority, if I'm not mistaken, and we kind of tabled that. So it's not a lot of money we're talking about here, but at the same time, we're putting the fine tuning on it. Myself, Mr. Allen, and Ms. Bryant, we had came in earlier in the week and had a extremely good war gaming along with Mr. Reddick and Mr. Maddox as well about ideas of the way we want to approach and look at the future as well. So I really like the financial outlook of what we've got right now. And as far as all the audits that are coming up, we're getting all of that in touch, in line too. So I'm proud of that. And the city ought to be proud of it too. And one last thing that I wanted to say is that, with all this rain we had, when we started the stormwater division and we started cleaning these drains, mapping them, putting them on, digitizing them, getting everything ready and doing a particular cleanup, that water dispersed pretty doggone good for us. When Perry and these other places, they had a fit if you looked online. And all the work that we did on 49 around Bluebird and what was done in front of McDonald's, all that work has really come off and paid. And I talked to the chief about that at Kiwanis today, and we both agreed that, we're pretty lucky because we did have some low spots, but they dissipated a lot quicker than normal. So kudos to that. So those are two good things I wanted to talk about. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I solicit your prayers for the gentleman that bought Richardson Auto Place out there, because they are kind of low and a lot of damage was done for them. And he's one of those, what we call the little local business that's struggling. And so some things happened with him. We had DOT out there this afternoon. And there's some things that need to be done in order to correct that.
Can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No.
Okay. There's some things that need to be done to correct that, and we're trying to determine whether it's DOT, county, Peach County, or Fort Valley to get it done. But whatever we can to help, we will do that. All right, Ms. Gowan, public safety. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself, Colin.
Yeah, I thought I had a touch screen. Okay, Fort Valley Fire Department monthly report. They had 40 hours of firefighter 1 training, 40 hours of physical training, 24 hours of building construction, 12 hours of pump operations, 12 hours of PPE safety, 12 hours of basic life support. And we know that I think we had 3 times that they used the heart machine to save people's lives this month. and 12 hours of salvage and overhaul. They inspected Pro Air Holdings, Fort Valley Senior Citizen Center, Peach County Gymnastics, Dock Store Food Market, mental health counseling, and they did fire drills at Kids Corner Daycare and at Hunt Elementary. They had public safety had 9 false alarms, 5 trees down, 3 smoke odor scares. I think one might have been mine. 3 gas leaks, 2 vehicle accidents, 2 power lines down, 2 lockouts, 2 carbon monoxide alarms, 14 alarm malfunctions, 11 medical assist EMS. We need an ambulance, people. 1 trash fire, 1 smoke odor removal, 1 passenger vehicle fire, and 1 municipal alarm. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Victor, let the record show that Carla Gowan is taking my place now with the smoke scare at the house, because she's cooking and I'm not. All right, Mr. Allen, you up next.
No, ma'am, unless Mr. Raphael has something he want to put in.
No, sir, we're good.
Raphael?
No, sir, we're good. Moving on.
Okay.
All
Moving
right,
on, Mayor.
So Mr. Crafter, back on. You want your report?
You got my report?
No,
already. All right.
And what we did tonight. And let me say, thank you to all the councilmen who voted for it. And thank you for the councilman who voted against it. Because if it works, when it works, everybody will see the benefits of a solid economic development plan that's put together by a committed council. Everybody on this council is committed to the city of Fort Valley. I believe that. And you're going to do what's right. So with that, this official part of this meeting is over. Now, as a result,
turn it back over to the mayor.
The mayor's only one that can do that.
All right. I want.
We can only pray.
I want to let you know that I have the official resignation of Mr. Marvin Crafter from the.
You gonna resign for me? You gonna resign for me?
City Council.
Resign for me? You gonna let me do it?
Me? You sent the letter already.
You gonna resign for me? You gonna let me do it?
I'd be glad to let you do it. Go ahead. I didn't know you
thank you.
to do that.
With that, I hereby resign my position as an at-large councilman on the Fort Valley City Council. And I just want to leave with 1 or 2 thoughts. As representative of the people, first thing we must do, we got to learn what the law said. Number 2, don't be afraid to let the people know what's going on. And number 3, don't be, I don't know, are 3 words that are not bad words. You pay people, we pay people to teach us that we don't know. So it's not bad if I don't know something, but don't ever mislead the public or yourself. I don't know is not bad. Not learning is unacceptable. Our talents, every councilman, now and in the future, to make sure you learn what the book said, because the book is the only thing that's going to keep you in the city going for another 125 years, as it has. And one of the biggest problems I had, I have a problem when the founding fathers of this town put together a document that got us safely through over 125 years. Looking at what they did was right. We ain't got no business changing that. You see what I'm saying? So with that said, and my resigning, I'd like to take this opportunity to officially accept the position as utility commissioner, East Ward, that was voted on by the mayor and council in a call meeting on what is this, September the 10th.
Yes.
And I will take my seat in that position as soon as I am sworn in tonight, and start and hit the road. Well, may accuse me of being in the house, but I don't stay in all the time. But wherever I am, I'm gonna hit the road running, trying to do stuff for in the best interest of all the people of the city of Fort Valley, in that position until the end of the term, which is 2021, 20, whatever that is.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crafton. I'd like to say that for the city of Fort Valley, Mr. Crafter has worked faithfully, diligently, and doing what needs to be done. Now, he and I might have some head-to-head from time to time, but I do respect his right to say what he needs to say. I respect his right to serve. I respect his love for his community, and all of these things. Mr. Chief Spurgeon, I see you had something you needed to say.
You basically said what I was going to say, Ms. Barb. I just wanted to say I had opportunity to work with Marvin when he was a community activist. I worked with him when he was first term as a council person, and working with him now for, I think, this last term. And one thing you can honestly say, he's very passionate about what he believes in, but he honestly loves this city and he really believes in what he's doing. And I just want to make sure that everybody, that I got a chance to thank him publicly for everything. Even before, I always counted him as a community partner, and he's been that while he's been on the council as well.
Thank you so much, Chief. I don't know how he survived 2 Williamses as mayor, but he has survived 2 Williamses as mayor.
Mayor Williams?
Yes, sir.
And I've been to deal with one of them, and not there with the deal with you.
All right.
At any rate, I was tickled to death. Finally, I'll be off Ron Bobber week. And then I thought, oh, she on the commission too.
All right.
So
all right.
I can't get away from you. You can't get away from me.
That's right. That's right. With that being said, with all the comments that we've gotten from different people about why we did what we did, and I went through and explained that to us, and all the folks that's been fussing at me and that kind of stuff, but that's okay. I stand firm on what we are doing for the city of Fort Valley. I'm going to ask you
in that spirit, Mayor. In that spirit, I can talk. Due to the fact that we do have a vacancy on the city council. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I thank you for saying that.
I would like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Henry Howard to fill the vacancy on the council.
Okay, now. Okay, got it.
I think we need to let the citizens give the opinion, let people put in their resume first.
No, we don't do that anymore.
We should.
Mayor,
you got a motion
everybody can't talk
and a
at the
second
same time. Everybody can't talk at the same time. We got a motion on the floor. Did we have a second?
Second by Brown.
Brown. Okay. Now your discussion, if you want to do your discussion.
Question.
You have resigned, Mr. Crafton.
No.
You have resigned.
Question.
Okay, question. Mr. Crafton.
The reason I put this at the end of the business session of the meeting is so that whoever replaces Marvin Crafton will be a decision that will be made by the city council that's left. You understand? And I would suggest that you use whatever time, interim time, to see who want to serve. But now, if y'all want to go ahead on with the motion, if y'all want to go ahead on
Mr. Crafton.
ma'am.
Mr. Crafter, we
Yes,
did
ma'am.
not do that when we went for you on the commission. What's the
All right.
difference now?
Now,
Hey, like I
Councilwoman
said,
Bryant, I explained why
I don't have no
the
problem.
two things, hold on a minute, Mr. Crafton. The two things are not the same though. I explained why we needed to move forward with the utility situation because you only had 2 utility commissioners there, take 3 for a quorum. And they had vital business that needed to be taken care of. And we could not let the institution break down. That was the reason for that. We had 6 people on council and a mayor who has a vote equal to the rest of them. And so we have a quorum when we have 4. And we don't have to jump in and do it the next 2 days. Even though I don't want to wait forever, I would suggest that we advertise so if anybody else who may have wanted to turn in their resume, then we make that appointment at that particular point and allow others to have the opportunity.
It's
Okay.
the same scenario.
I didn't get a second
We
now.
have 6. We did have a second.
Who had the second? Oh, Brown seconded. Okay, Miss Gowan. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I have received so many telephone calls about transparency and about not giving the citizens a chance. I think it would be a very bad idea to do it again. And besides which, I didn't even catch the name of the person. I don't know them. So, we can't vote on somebody we've never heard of. I just think we need to be a little slower with that part, Juanita. I'm not interrupting you.
Okay.
I think we need to be more careful. I think we're too fast the last time.
Now, William.
I agree with you on that one, but Mr. Henry Howard was one that ran for council in the last election.
Okay,
And,
I also,
William.
Bryant.
William.
Wait a minute. She hadn't finished. She hadn't finished.
The same scenario holds true with the council. There's only 6 of us. And if there's a tie, we need a tiebreaker. So
Okay.
like you did over at the utilities department.
Okay. Let me
I know
suggest.
y'all gonna have it your way, but we have a first and a second on the floor.
I'm next.
Before we go any further,
next, ma'am.
Mr. Crafter, but we need to handle this before we go any further.
Well, let me
jumped
say
in
this.
there and started talking. Wait a minute. We jumped in and started talking. We need to accept your resignation first. You have made your resignation.
All right, now.
We need to do that. Of the council. I need a vote. I need a motion.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Mayor. While you're doing that, wait a minute, Juanita.
Okay, I need a second.
Wait a minute.
You're no council member no more.
You hadn't
I need a
accepted
second.
this. This is saying accepted.
Would you please repeat the motion? I'm getting so confused with so many people talking. I can't hear all at once.
I make a motion that we accept Mr. Crafter's resignation.
I second.
All right,
Man,
motion by
I
Brian.
don't mean to cut you off, but
second by-
you already had a motion in the second on the floor. You didn't call for the vote, so that one has to die before we do another one.
Which one you talking about?
But the motion that Ms. Juanita made, but I may not be in order, but I guess that's a question for our parliamentarian, Ms. Patrick. But I just thought we had a motion in the second on the floor.
Now, Mayor Williams.
I couldn't hear.
Okay.
There was a lot of people talking, so
Okay,
I
motion,
couldn't
that's
hear.
right.
Could you hold up a
Motion
minute, Mayor
been
Williams?
made, second
Mayor Williams.
has done. All right, any comments
Mayor Williams.
or any questions?
Mayor Williams. If you would give me a 4 minute the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Taking based on what let me finish.
Listen to the attorney.
Mr.
Hey,
Crafter.
she gave me, I asked for permission. She gave it to me.
No, she
But
didn't.
Mr. Crafter,
Based on
Mr.
based
Crafter,
on
Mr. Crafter,
without due respect, since you're no longer a part of the council, you're going to be treated as a public.
that's when I asked
We
for
have to follow
permission.
the policy for that. But when you get
I asked
sworn in, you may have a chance to speak after that.
But I have not.
You have to.
The
You have to abide
resignation
by
has
the
not been
policy.
accepted yet.
Hasn't been accepted yet.
The
Oh, the vote.
resignation has not been accepted yet. So until that is done, then I still have certain privileges. And the only thing I wanted to do was say one thing, if I may. and I asked the mayor for permission. She gave it to me. And all I wanted to say is it is unfair. It is unfair for Sandra Marshall, Connie Tucker, Henry Howard to make that recommendation now when people don't know him, and risk the council voting down that motion because of not knowing who Henry Howard is. I think that the council need an opportunity to be as fair to Henry Howard or anybody else, and allow them to meet and agree in whatever way necessary, all council members, before they make any decisions on him or whoever you decide to replace him.
I need to call for the vote. I need to call for the vote. You are correct. I need to call for the vote. All in favor, starting with Alan.
Once again, I recuse myself on this matter.
All right, Brian?
Excuse me, I'm still confused on which motion we're voting on.
This is the motion to accept Mr. Crafter's resignation.
Okay.
All right, Alan has recused himself. All right, Mr. Brown? Brian?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Brown? Brown?
Yes.
All right, Barnes?
Yes.
Okay. Gowan?
Yes.
All right, is that everybody?
Yep.
Did I call everybody? Williams? Yes. All right, and the motion carries. Thank you so much. Now, getting back to what we were dealing with that, I agree with Mr. Crafter that we need to make the announcement that there's going to be a vacancy in the East Ward to replace Mr. Marvin Crafter. And not only just make it open, set a time that we're going to fill it and give the people the opportunity, I'm sorry, at large, and give the people the opportunity to send their resumes and everything that needed to be. The only reason Mr. Crafter didn't have to send one, he knew him. Mr. sent a very impressive resume, had that. So we give the other people the opportunity. And then if you want to wait until the next council meeting to do this, or if you want to have a call meeting, it really doesn't matter, because we still can handle business. So I would suggest that we do that. Somebody needs to make that motion. Yes, sir.
No.
Marvin, you're gone.
No motion needs to be made.
All right, Mr. Bond.
Yes, ma'am. I just want everybody to remember one thing, that when Melba Hester did not represent the West Ward, we went all the way till election time, 14 months unrepresented. Now, here's the point I wanted to make. You know, even though Lamario beat Beth Collins, she offered to come in with just to be a part of the solution, but because people had big heads, they didn't want her back in. The West Ward went totally, you know, didn't have anybody to represent the West Ward. So all of a sudden we're no, this is a bigger deal than just put two people on the utility commission because of the different reasons of why we did. And there is a motion and a second on the floor, and we need to vote that the way we see it.
I call for the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
Call for the vote.
Alan recuse himself on this matter.
What's the vote again, y'all?
What
I
was the
recuse
motion
myself.
for?
The vote is putting Mr. Henry Howard on city council.
All right.
Thank you.
Alan recused himself. Coming on with Brian.
Barnes.
Huh?
I vote yes.
All right. Yes for Brian. Brown.
Man, Williams, I think we out of order because we jumped from that motion to another motion. So I really don't understand what we.
Well, do you want to vote or not, sir?
I'm a abstain because I don't think
You're going to abstain. All right,
Careful.
Ms. Gowan?
An abstention is a yes, isn't it, Ms. Patrick?
It depends upon what the quorum
The
is, the
count.
majority is. All right. What is your vote?
I would like an answer from Ms. Patrick.
Patrick?
Can you repeat your question, please? I can't.
In this case, wouldn't a yes be voting for Mr. Howard to be appointed?
In this case, I think we're legal, but go ahead, Ms. Patrick.
I do too. Oh, I do too,
So
Lamaria.
we are? Okay. All right, if we're illegal, then somebody needs to take that motion back so I can know what I need to do with it.
Well, let's let Miss Patrick answer.
All right, Ms. Patrick.
Well, first I want to say it's hard for me to hear who's speaking and what's being said because there's so many people speaking. So I completely missed the motion. So can you repeat what the motion was originally?
Restate your motion.
The motion was to appoint Mr. Henry Howard. I guess that's what we're on now. We're jumping from one place to the other place. But I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Henry Howard to the vacancy on the city council.
Need a second. No second, the motion dies for lack of a second.
Thank you.
So we're
Mayor,
right back where we're right back where we are.
Mayor Williams,
Very good.
before we go any further, may I ask our lawyer a question?
Ms. Patrick?
Yes.
When a motion comes up, if someone abstains or recuses themselves, what happens to that vote?
It doesn't count.
At all?
At all. Mine wouldn't count at all.
Recuse doesn't, but doesn't the abstention go in the favor of the majority?
No.
Whatever the majority vote is, doesn't the abstention go in that too?
Yes,
That's what I thought.
it should. I don't know, Miss Patrick, but an abstention is the majority, whatever the majority
Yeah,
is.
whatever. If you had a quorum, if you needed one more to be a quorum, and that person abstained, then it wouldn't go anywhere. But if you had four already, the majority is 4, so the abstention would add to the 4.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now, are we going to do as we suggested and advertise this, and make the appointment at the next council meeting?
Mayor Williams, can we go ahead and accept, I guess, Mr. Lindsay, because he's been sitting for a while we've been
I know that, but
back and forth.
we need to get out of this because y'all gonna come right back here and keep me all night. Let's get out of this. Are we going to go ahead and advertise this and let some input and receive resumes and then appoint it next council meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Mayor
All
Williams,
right.
I move that we're going to advertise.
Need a second?
Second.
All right. Motion by Allen, seconded by Gowan, that we advertise to fill the vacant position made vacant by Mr. Marvin Crafter of council person at large at the next council meeting, and ask for resumes. All in favor? Let me hear your vote. Starting with Allen.
Yes.
Allen, yes.
Barnes, yes.
Barnes, yes.
Brown, yes.
Brown, yes.
Yes.
Bryant, yes.
Gowan, yes.
Gowan, yes. All right, and Williams, yes. So it's unanimous. All right, that takes care of that. I apologize, Mr. Lindsay, for holding you so long, but we want to make this appointment like it should be. All right. So if you would stand, Miss Patrick, can you take this on and advise him from here?
Mayor Williams. Mayor Williams. Mayor Williams.
This for Mr. Lindsay.
Mr. Lindsay.
Can you see my hand, my right hand?
I see your hand, but Mr. Crafton, we're gonna move on now. Okay? Come on, Mr. Crafton.
I'm gonna wait for Mr. Lindsay. Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
ask everyone else to mute their phones, please?
Hello?
Mr. Stevens. Hello, Mr.
I don't know if he heard you because I couldn't hear you.
He was listening to Marvin.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now.
Mr. Lindsay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Do you accept the appointment to the Fort Valley Utility Commission?
Yes, I do.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
I,
Stephen Lindsay,
Stephen Lindsay,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will properly
or affirm that I will properly
perform the duties
perform the duties
of the office of the Fort Valley Utility Commissions Board
of the office of the Fort Valley Utility Commission Board
in and for the city of Fort Valley
and for the city of Fort Valley
to the best of my knowledge, skill, and ability.
to the best of my knowledge, skill, and ability.
That I am not the holder of any unaccounted for public money
I didn't understand what you said.
that I am not the holder
I am not the holder
of any unaccounted or public money
of any unaccounted or public money
due to the state of Georgia
due to the state of Georgia
or any political subdivision
or any political subdivision
or authority thereto.
or authority thereto.
That I am not the holder
That I am not the holder
of any office of trust
of any office of trust
under the government of the United States
under the government of the United States
and any other state or foreign state
or any other state or foreign state,
which I am by the laws
I didn't catch what you said.
which I am by the laws which
You're
I
breaking
am
up. Which I am
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
prohibited from holding,
prohibited from holding,
that I am qualified to hold the office
that I am qualified to hold the office
which I am about to enter
which I am about to enter
according to the Constitution of the laws of Georgia,
according to the current execution of the laws of the state of Georgia,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and the laws of Georgia,
and laws of Georgia,
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Georgia,
and the state of Georgia,
that I have been a resident
that I have been a resident
of the district from which appointed
I didn't understand what you said.
of the
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
of the district
Of the district
from which appointed
which appointed
and the city of Fort Valley
and the city of Fort Valley
for the time required
for the time required
of the Constitution
by the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and the charter of the city of Fort Valley,
and the charter of the city of Fort Valley.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay.
Thank you.
Am I the only one applauding y'all? All right, Mr. Crafton,
Hey,
congratulations.
can you cut that down into 3 or 4 sentences and I'll say okay to everything? and said, I heard everything you said. I do.
Correct. And Mr. Cook can finish it again. Just say I do.
I do.
Okay, Ms. Crafton. Ms. Patrick.
All right, I'm gonna ask again that everybody mute their lines. Apologize for the echo. We're doing this virtually, so we have to roll with it.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Crafter, repeat after me. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, Mr. Crafter.
Sorry, Mr. Crafter.
What we're gonna do at your request is I'm going to read the oath and then you can just say I do at the end.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm gonna read it out. Please raise your right hand. Okay. I, Marvin Crafter,
Marvin Crafter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will properly
or affirm that I will properly
perform the duties of the office of Fort Valley Utility Commissioners Board
of the Fort Valley Utility Commission East Ward.
No, board.
Board.
In and for the city of Fort Valley.
In and for the city of Fort Valley.
To the best of my knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge.
Skills. And ability.
And abilities.
That I am not the holder.
When you gonna read the rest of it? That I am not the holder
of any unaccounted for public money.
Or any unaccounted for public money.
To the state of Georgia.
To the state of Georgia.
Or any political subdivision.
Or any political subdivision.
Or authority thereto.
Or authority thereto.
That I am not the holder of any office.
I'm not the holder of any office.
Or trust under the government.
Or trust under the government.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And any other state.
And any other state.
Or foreign state.
Or foreign state.
Which I am by the laws.
Which I am by the law.
Of the state of Georgia.
Of the state of Georgia.
Prohibited from holding.
Prohibited from holding.
That I am qualified to hold the office.
That I am qualified to hold the office.
Which I am about to enter.
Which I am about to enter.
According to the Constitution.
According to the Constitution.
And the laws of Georgia.
And the laws of Georgia.
That I will support the Constitution.
That I will support the Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And the state of Georgia.
And the state of Georgia.
That I have been a resident of the district.
That I have been a resident of the district.
From which appointed.
appointed.
And the city of Fort Valley.
In the city of Fort Valley.
For the time required.
For the time required.
By the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia.
By the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia.
And the charter of the city of Fort Valley.
And the charter of the city of Fort Valley.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And now you can say I do.
I do. I do. Well, I say so help me God. So can I drop my hand now?
Yes, sir. You can drop your hand. Thank you.
So with a oath that long, I'm gonna take the office of president. Just joking. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mayor Williams, it's on you.
Mayor Williams, you're muted.
Raphael's thing. There were several people that attended this meeting. We thank you for coming and responded on the chat. To ask some questions on the chat. Ms. Wright, when those questions are asked, can we save those or preserve those? And I'd be glad to answer those, address those, but not tonight.
Yes, they are saved. Yes, they are saved.
They are saved, and I would be I would be happy to respond to you because I appreciate your wanting to be involved in this process, and thank you for coming. I do want to say, continue to pray for our city with the pandemic. Continue to pray with Sally, because I understand another one is coming after this. And especially for the people with small businesses that's being flooded out. This pandemic did enough harm to them. And so we kind of want to make sure that we keep those in our prayers, in our minds, and in our thoughts. Pray for our city council, pray for our utility commission also. Now, once again, we are announcing that there is a vacancy in the at-large position, and anybody can send their resume. Please address it to the City Administrator Raphael Maddox down here at City Hall, 204 West Church Street in Fort Valley, Georgia, 31030. And do that, and we will be expecting to appoint at the next council meeting. Is there anything else for the sake and for the good of the order? If not, I declare this meeting adjourned. And thank you so much for coming.